Cool, so this is tutorial number 2 in After Effects, basic introduction. So if you haven't done my first tutorial, maybe go back and start with that because it will make these things a little bit easier. What we're going to be doing today, or in this tutorial, is continuing on with the skills that we learned in tutorial 1, and we're just going to be applying them to some different shapes. So just like last time, I want 2 things open. I want Adobe After Effects and I want Adobe Color open, and I want you to have some type of color scheme that you like for your project. Cool. So I'm going to select this one here. Create a new project, make a full screen, new composition. Again, we're going to work in a square aspect ratio, so these need to be the same. If you're following on from last time, it will be the same. If you've done a project between, make sure these are both 1080 by 1080 and your frame rate's 24. We're going to call this geometric shape 2, and we're going to change it from 6 seconds. This time, let's do 7. Background color, make it white. Cool. So what we're going to be doing this time is, rather than doing a circle animation, we'll be creating like a square animation using the rectangle tool here. So the first thing I want you to do is click this tool up here, hold down Shift to lock the aspect ratio and the constraints of the shape. And I want you to draw a shape that is the size of your artboard like that. Cool. Once that's done, you are going to go down to 2 seconds in your timeline, open up transform, and set a keyframe for the position this time. So the position there. You're then going to move it back to 1 second, move your rectangle diagonally, line it up like that, create another keyframe there, move back to the start of your timeline, and remove this square from the artboard and create a keyframe there. So if we play that back, it should look something like this. Cool. We're then again going to place ease in and ease out keyframes on this. So we're going to select them. We're going to right click, keyframe assistant, ease in, keyframe assistant, ease out. Alternatively, you can just press F9 and that will look something like this. Cool, just like before, we're going to edit the speed of these. So if we come over here into the graph editor, we can adjust the speed of these keyframes, and we're going to do just as before and make little mountains like that. If your graph editor doesn't look like that, make sure you change it from value or reference into speed like that. Cool, so now if we come out of it, it's going to play back like this, nice and dynamic. And then just as before, like we did with the circles, we're going to second by second, copy, Command C, Command V, the shape onto different layers and change the color. So I've started with this color here, I think, and then I'm going to go on to this color here. Cool, and then we're going to repeat that process 5 times for each individual color that we have here. Maybe once you're halfway, check that it's working. Check that your colors are transferring correctly. Cool, so it should look something like this. Okay, last color. 4 seconds. And there we go. Cool, we're now going to do some things to the composition settings, and we're going to loop this. So the first thing you want to do is save this color code here. That is the last color that's going to be on the screen here. So if you see here, I've got this orange color. That is going to be this code here, the ED 8 blah 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 8B16, right? Right click your composition settings, and you're going to change this background color to that code. So just press Command C, Command B, and there we go. Try not to use the eyedropper because it's probably not going to be as accurate. The other thing we're going to do is, rather than being 7 seconds, we're going to change it to 6. Cool, and now we have our animation playing on a nice loop like that. Now we are getting into the looping of this. So what we're going to want to do now is create another composition inside this workspace. Right click, new composition, and we are going to call it loop. Keep everything here the same, including the background color, but change the duration. Rather than 6 seconds, we're going to make it 18. So this loop can play 3 times. The next thing you want to do is you are going to want to drag your geometric shape animation composition into this workspace here. Cool, so if I press play now, we'll see that it's playing in here, but once the composition is finished, it won't loop, it will just hold that frame. Now I'm going to show you how to loop. So you right click the composition here, geometric shape, and you go to time and enable time remapping. Click that. You will then press Options on a Mac, or I think it's Alt on a PC, and you will click this little stopwatch here. This will open up this little panel here, and you will come to this little play button down here. You will find property, and then you will go to loop out, and that's it. Just hit enter, close all that, drag this, and you'll see now that when you hit play, the animation will continue to loop for the whole duration. So that is also how you can create a loop in After Effects. Say if you had something like a walk cycle or any kind of looping technique going on with your animation. Cool, I'm now going to show you how to export something like this. So make sure that you have your loop composition selected. You will go File, you will go Export, and you will go Add to Render Queue. Cool. Leave it at H.264. That will just export it as an MP4. What you do need to select is where you want this to output to. So if I had a multimedia project folder or something like that, a workspace folder, that's where I'd export it to. For now, I'm just going to do it to my desktop because this is a tutorial for you, and I would call it whatever I want. So geometric loop triangle, something like that. Save, come over here, click render. It will pass those frames and it will make a little sound once it's done. There we go. And then when you come down to your desktop, you will see that that animation is able to be played back. And then you could add it to something like Premiere Pro or wherever you are editing your videos. Definitely not CapCut. Thanks for watching, and I hope this was somewhat beneficial.